Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. As you can see, I am looking rough as guts. I think I've got about 14 days growth on the face, on the neck, it's everywhere. I've had enough. The reason it is there is because I've just been run down, tired, been doing a lot of stuff with the kids, and I broke my arm in September, if you didn't know, and it's just taken its toll on me. It really has. I've struggled to sleep, I'm eating quite well, I'm keeping reasonably fit and slim in myself, I'm doing my best I can, but I have been struggling. But because of cold sores I couldn't shave, and I've just noticed this as well. I'm starting to get I don't know whether it's I don't know what the fuck it is, falling apart. I popped this on prior to this video starting, Verbo pre-shave gel. It's great stuff, it smells good, it seems to work. Used it on my head, got a BBS head shave using Mitchell's Wool Fat and the leaf razor, and now I'm going to tackle my face shave with what is regarded as one of the best soap bases on the market. This is MIlksteak from Declaration Grooming, and obviously the scent is After the Rain. Now the scent on this one, I love the labelling, by the way. The labelling is really nice. It smells like a sort of citrusy type scent. That's all I get. It doesn't smell, I was expecting After the Rain to smell quite earthy, muddy, you know, like Barrister Man Diamond, my Man United soap that was made from Lather Bros, that sort of thing. Now, as you can see, I've taken a scoop out the side here. I did bowl lather this the first time and struggled with it. I didn't get the best lather. The performance was there, the post shave was brilliant, but it wasn't a great lather. Now, I am using a natural hair brush today. I'm going to be using my Rhodium Knot 28mm silver tip brush. I'll just show you this soaking wet because it looks phenomenal. An absolutely beautiful knot. Give it a squeeze and a good shake, and you can see all those tips on there. Look at that. This is hand tied in Western Australia, in the Australian Capital Territory, by Serjan Danicic of Rhodium Knots. You can find them on Facebook, you can find them on Instagram. He does have a page on Instagram that you can go and check out. But this is phenomenal. So it's set in my that down rod brush handle. I haven't even mentioned the handle, even though this handle is absolutely stunning. But I think overall it just looks like an amazing brush. So here we go, straight into the soap. Now, last time I used this, I bowl lathered because it felt very, very soft. It still is quite soft. I left the lid off it for a while just to let the air at it and maybe let some of the moisture evaporate out, and it has firmed up. Whether it's still too soft, we shall soon see. But I'm going to load, not too heavy, but heavy enough. I want to try and make so the tips are all joined together with soap, and then I'll be happy. Going to dip the tips again and again. I'm not too worried about how long this video is. Apologies if the lather's too long, skip to the shave. I will be shaving with a chevette today, the Feather Artist Club stainless steel chevette, for the first pass, as I have been, and then I'll be finishing off with the Carve Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium, the best razor on earth. So there we go. I'm going to go with that. I don't know whether it's enough. I've got no idea. That's how deep it's went into the knot. I reckon it probably will be. I have heard that this soap can be a little bit finicky. It was very, very kindly sent over to me from Jack over at the Virtual Groom Room. He sent me over a few very, very nice soaps in the latest bases. Thanks again, Jack, for sending them. Yeah, it's a strange one, the scent, because the name just doesn't smell like it should smell in my mind. After the Rain should smell like an earthy sort of thing. That's in my mind what it should smell like, but it doesn't. It smells like it smells. I actually like the smell. It smells like a sweet citrusy type scent. I'm going to wet my face. Well, the sink is filling up with water a bit. The itch is almost unbearable, believe it or not, on my neck. It's absolute horrible. So here we go. Let's paint this in. Oh, this is thick. This is really thick. So I do have quite a big cold sore on my top lip, which is dead, and there's not much left of it, but I will be left with a mark on my lip for sure, which will take a while to completely heal, or heal as best as it can. I am noticing the more I get these, the less they heal as I get older. Yeah, this is real thick stuff, this. Wow. So I'm just going to dip the tips. Paint a bit of water in. Look at that, not a single hair coming out. So what I might do, I might actually follow my usual, keep painting in water until it goes pretty translucent. You can see how much growth is there. I can't wait to scrape this off, I really can't. I have still been watching YouTube, I've still been watching all the channels. Oh, I've got a cold sore on my bottom lip as well and it hurts. That hurt there, as you can see. Just dip the brush again. Now generally, when I've got this much growth on my face, I can't get a great voluminous lather, it just doesn't work. The hair sort of inhibits it, I don't know why. So you can see the lather spraying everywhere, but you can see how the lather is moving through the knot. And that's what I want. Generally, by the time I'm ready to start spraying the brush, the flow through of the knot is already working. It's already coming out the base of the knot. It's certainly a nice scent. It's a really nice scent, a scent that I enjoy. Right, I'm going to spray the brush now because I'm not quite sure where this soap's going. It doesn't seem to be going translucent, but you can see how it's reasonably translucent at the moment. Wipe the handle a little bit. And here we go. It feels so nice. It's just working at the itch on my neck right now. And the tips on this brush, on this knot, are just incredibly soft. Now the lather isn't growing much now, so I'm going to add a little bit of water just into the knot, like so. Now the good thing with spending so much time lathering, when you've got so much facial hair growth, is that it really batters the crap out of your hair, softens it up, gets it ready for the shave, prepares your skin. You don't have to spend this amount of time lathering. I just like to push these soaps and see how far they go. And this one is going pretty far. Now I was going to use the Holy Cow Sierra base for this one, but because I have to bowl lather it, or load it from a bowl, I didn't fancy it. So I went with this one. I haven't lathered like this with a soap before. Right, I don't think I'm going to get much more volume in this, believe it or not. I think it's about as far as it's going to go. And that's just mainly because I've got so much facial hair growth, it just doesn't grow. But you can see the lather, it's dense, it's glossy. It's pretty much where I would want my lather to be. Of course, I like a really voluminous, thick, rich, creamy lather. You can see there that there's plenty of moisture in it. It's just those little peaks are just falling down. Quite surprising actually. I honestly thought that this soap would take a lot more moisture than that. So it's not a really thirsty soap, I don't think, from what I've just used it with. You can see that that lather is lovely. Right. Put that to the side. So the razor for the first pass is going to be my Feather Artist Club stainless steel chevette with a, don't know how many use blade, but it's been used quite a few times. So I'm just going to wet that in the water, grab here and whip this hair off. Well, that's the theory anyway. It feels like it's struggling. Maybe not. I don't know what I was feeling, to be honest. I'm going to try and shave down to about here. I've watched Rudge shaves do it for ages. Most other guys do it as well. Now the main reason I'm doing it is probably the same as those guys, is my hair actually grows sort of across and up most of the way along here, so. So I'll switch to the left hand now. Which oddly enough feels more comfortable, I don't know why. As you can see, the blade is just rinsing off crystal clear. Apologies if the TV is too loud. Bloody lather everywhere. So that says the lather's definitely wet enough that it's just falling off the razor. It's probably too wet. Oh god, this feels amazing. It's funny how a good shave when you've not shaved for ages is. Right, so I think you hold the razor like that. I've never done this before, I don't think. I'm just gonna. This is surprisingly quite relaxing doing this one. This is the hard bit. I struggle with my left hand here, trying to get the angle right. That's not even on the camera. So here you go, I'm shaving a bit of my neck. I'm going to struggle with this bit. There we go. Very, very impressed with that. I'm going to empty the sink out because, as you can imagine, it's absolutely chock-a-block full of hair. Oh shit. I haven't touched this bit here. I'm going to do this with a carve nice and gently so I don't rip it to shreds. That's the theory. Whether that pans out like that, I have no idea. For a first pass, there's my little Hitler. For a first pass, I think that's pretty damn good. There's obviously chunks here and there that I've just not seen because of the hair and the lather. But I will knock that in the head now. Look at that, look. Just going to rinse the handle. Yes, that's quite surprising for me. I thought this soap would take a lot more water than that before it's not broken down. Yeah, it's not an easy soap to work with. It's just as simple as that. I mean, I've bowl lathered it now. Synthetic brush will make a difference. I will do this with a synthetic as well. But that's not a great, for me, that's not a great second pass lather. The properties of the soap might be phenomenal. So here we go, the carved Christopher Bradley razor. I've got a second or third use Gillette Ruby blade in here. Now of course for this part of the shave, all I'm really looking for is slickness, and I can assure you this soap's got loads of it. Certainly a very slick soap. Saying that, it's not super slick there. It's turned out better than I thought it was gonna. Right, now this lather is almost gone, so let's just see how we go. Now this is a big knot, maybe I didn't load enough into it, but now I've watched Jack from the Virtual Grooming use this stuff, and he's had cracking lathers out of it. He didn't. There's my carve razor thrown on the ground again. Getting good at that. She'll hit ruby blades in this razor, wow. You see the lather is almost non-existent. It's pretty shit actually. I can't even honestly say, I'm being honest here, that the performance is saving it. It's like, yeah, it's slick, but it's not. I mean, I've just used Mitchell's wool fat on my head and it was way slicker than this. The one thing I will give to this soap is that it does have a very good post shave. I have used it, I have felt the post shave of it. But this is pretty shit. I think I've just added too much water. From memory, I'm pretty sure Jack said you need to be careful with the water content of it. It is quite finicky, and for me that isn't great. You know, it's not handled really a lot of water there. I don't think I put a lot of water in. But ultimately, I've had a great shave with it. I can't grumble with the finished product. It's the same old story. These products all work differently, they all do different things, they all lather differently. But if they get you to the promised land, if they get you to where you want to be, then you can't really argue with it. That's exactly what you want it to do, really. But is it enjoyable to use in terms of lathering? For me, not really. No. I will test this out with a synthetic. I think I'll get much better results from a synthetic. And to be honest, 14 days out without using any shaving brushes, any soaps, any razors, does affect. It's going to affect it a little bit. You can't lather perfectly well after having some time off with that, I don't think. Maybe I'm just giving it excuses. But I did just use Mitchell's wool fat with a boar brush on my head and created an exceptionally good lather, a phenomenal lather, which performed better than the Declaration Grooming. Just going to give that a quick flick out on the towel. Still a bit of soap in there. Do it again. I've got one weaker down here, and I've got a little one just on my chin. You can see that weaker down there. People say not to do this as well. In fact, I think it's actually Scott from Declaration Grooming says don't do this with your brushes. But I've done it with every brush I've ever had, and I've never had a problem other than a Simpsons brush and a Morrison 400 brush. Everything else has been absolutely fine, including this one. Which is phenomenal. But anyway, Declaration Grooming after the rain. I like the scent. It's not a strong scent, it sort of dies away, to be honest. Once I lathered up, I couldn't really smell it very much. The performance on the soap, it does exactly what you want. Really, this is what sets it apart from many soaps. That post shave is absolutely exceptional. It feels incredible. So just comparing it to the fat on my head, it feels better. It does feel better post shave than what Mitchell's Real Fat does. It gives that bit of moisture. It still feels silky smooth, like satin sort of thing. Really, really nice. And I've got a very close against the grain shave in a lot of parts. It's worked very well. The brush was my Rhodium 28mm knot set inside that darn rod brush handle, which is absolutely beautiful. You can see all that pearlescence floating through the handle. Stunning brush. You can see the knots bloomed out now and it looks phenomenal. It really does. The first razor was the Feather stainless steel Chevette, Feather SS, and this is phenomenal. It really is. I've been surprised. I keep saying phenomenal because they are phenomenal. But this razor, I didn't think I was going to really enjoy it. It was very kindly gifted to me from Craig Stanley over at Face Fat, and it works amazingly well. It's smooth, it's efficient, it's comfortable. I don't really get any irritation from it. I know I'm only going with the grain sort of thing at the moment, but I'm just trying to perfect that phase of the shave, and then I can move it into cross grain and I'll just add a little bit in here and there, working towards a full shave with it, rather than just plying my skin to death. And then I finished off with the carved Christopher Bradley razor in aluminium with the B-plate .73 blade gap and a third, I think it's a third just Gillette Ruby blade, and wow, phenomenal. But overall, I've got a great shave at the end. It's just, for me personally, it's not an enjoyable, for me personally, there you go Ken, that's for you mate, it's not an enjoyable lather to work with. It's not a great soap to work with. I've used it now in a bowl, I've used it now with a face lather straight from the tub. I've used it, I think, both times with this brush, I think, from memory as well. It could be the brush, I don't know, but I've used that brush with pretty much every other soap I own and it works beautifully. So it's definitely something going on with the soap. It doesn't take a lot of water. It just wasn't a super enjoyable lathering experience for me. It could be that I had a lot of facial hair growth and I just couldn't really feel it right, I couldn't do it right, but I'm not going to make excuses for it. That for me, if you gave me that unbranded with no labels on it, it wouldn't even make my top 10. So there you go. That's a soap that sits at the top of a lot of people's lists. Rudd's gave it 100, I think. 100 out of 100. It's all right. It works. Does what it says on the tin. It doesn't work any better than the previous Declaration Grooming stuff that I used. In fact, if anything, I struggle with that soap base as well. Maybe I just struggle with Declaration Grooming soap bases. I'm not struggling with everything else, just Declaration Grooming. It's not, for me at this stage, a top tier soap. It's good, but it's not top tier. And other than that, there's not much more I can say. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.